Hey guys, and welcome to Day to Day Scott. Welcome to my 25th daily blog. Welcome to the beautiful people that watch these videos, and welcome to anyone new. Introduce the new people. What I'm an entrepreneur, as you'll know, as an entrepreneur as well, or someone who's just hungry for success. We're always learning every day. We're always pushing to learn, reading articles, listening to influencers, interviews, and so forth. So what I do is I create my learnings from each day into content that'll be valuable to you. This is raw, it's organic, it's what I learn each day. I'm in the journey, in the grind, as they always push Gary Vee. So it's very raw. I'm not at the top of the successes. I'm going through the grind, and that's where I believe most of you are at as well. So I speak from truth, and everything that I say will resonate with you because I'm in the depths, I'm in the trenches. So that's what we're learning. Let's learn together, guys. You can learn from my failures, and I can learn from yours, and we can learn together, and we can achieve the success together, and we can be all happy in our mansions and happiness in every aspect of life together. So that's what this channel is about, is that bringing our personal growth and entrepreneurship and bringing our learning to learn together and get to our dreams and goals. So what is this video about? This is my 25th daily blog, still grinding as they say, and it's very interesting because this is something I've been thinking about recently, and I just had to ask them. I've never asked someone this, but I've always thought of it and I've really been thinking about it recently, is are you being impatient or not taking enough action? So am I being impatient, not taking enough action? Are you being impatient, not taking enough action? How do we know? I asked this question to an expert mentor and coach. I asked him, who I recently met, called Shaun Browne, and he gave me some answers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through his answers, tell you what I got from it, and give you my final verdict on whether we're being impatient or taking action. It's a really important one today, guys. Let's say that right, today, guys. So stay tuned. I'll see you in a minute, guys. Hey guys, and welcome back to the video. So, are you being impatient or not taking enough action? It's an interesting question, isn't it? It does make you think, doesn't it? And I tell you a quote that will actually scare you as well, that don't mean scare you, but it kind of gives you a bit of clarity on this. Is I read a quote recently saying, don't mistake busyness for productivity. Don't mistake busyness. That took me back. I even said him a few videos ago when I was speaking about that. It took me back, that quote. So that's an interesting one to think about when we're going through this. So how do we know that if we're being impatient or not taking enough action to attain our goals and dreams? This is so true to my current state and true to my current thinking, and I'm sure it's true to you. And when you're thinking about, are we moving forward fast enough? And there's so many questions that you can ask. How do you know if you're doing the right thing? What is my progress? Am I closer to attaining my goals this week than last week? How have I overcome issues that I faced last week to this week? Have I learned from what I need in order to move forward to the next step, to the next stages of my dreams? There's just so many questions you can ask yourself to try and understand this question, but it's just too confusing. It's just so confusing, and if you just try answering these hundreds of questions, you're gonna get bored, and it's just gonna annoy you, and it's gonna frustrate you, and you're just never gonna get the answer. So what I did, as I love doing, guys, is I asked an expert mentor and coach called Shaun Browne. And I'm going to dive into my little conversation with him. And he was also, it was quite interesting because he was also blown away from this question where I said to him, he even stepped back and went, that is a good question. So I was like, yeah, I've got one. This is a good question. So I asked him, it was a meetup that I go to every month called the Networking Club. And he's a big believer of this thing called following your inner satnav. That's what he did. He spoke about in the event, and it's really fascinating because it's about following your inner self. Now, let me give you a bit of clarity on what that means and how that's going to tie into what the subject of the video is. So he's a big believer of that. You should follow your inner satnav in regards to each path will lead to the next one. So the path basically means opportunity. Each path will lead to the next one. An action creates a reaction, okay? So what he says is take advantage of each path, opportunity, ensuring you put your full self into it, as you never know what path, opportunity it may open. Okay, so take advantage of each path, ensuring you put your full self into it, as you never know what path, opportunity that may open. So this is very interesting in regards to this question is, am I taking enough action or being impatient? So he's saying, what I took away from this was a few points. Is one, trusting your inner self, trusting your inner satnav, trusting your inner guidance to push yourself out of your comfort zone, to take advantage of opportunities and paths that open themselves to you based on your current work ethic, based on what you're doing. To trust yourself more, to move forward and take advantage of opportunities that may at first look a bit funny, but then you realize actually once after doing them, put your full self into it, very important, putting your full self into it, you may learn and meet someone and opens another 2 or 3 paths, and then you push yourself forward again. So that's what another point that I took away from trusting your inner self. And another one that I think is so important is be truthful to yourself. You need to know where you're going, where you are, what's going on, what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong. You have to sometimes sit back and look at what's going on and just have a true clarity in order to know which path, which opportunity to take advantage of. So you have to be very truthful, and this is where the hard truths have to come in, and why it's so crucial to have a mentor and coach, which I mentioned in another video. It's so crucial that you make sure you're truthful to yourself. Otherwise, you might be taking advantage of the wrong path and pushing to the wrong goals. And finally, having the confidence to take advantage of all opportunities. Having the confidence to take advantage of all opportunities presented to you in order to further your quest in attaining your goals and dreams. They're the 3 things I took away from what he said to me. And I think that's so crucial again, is when we're pushing for our successes, paths and opportunities may arise that may look a bit funny, a bit different, but that's where you're going to learn in your uncomfort zone. So it's going to be uncomfortable, so you have to have the confidence and the risk taking to push yourself to take advantage of them, because again, you never know what opportunities that may bring. So my final verdict on this of am I being a patient or am I taking enough action, is that this is my final verdict, what I believe to be true in my current state and from speaking to Shaun Browne, is that if I truly know I'm putting my full self into what I'm trying to achieve, okay, the key word of that is full self, as well as being smart with my efforts, then I'm taking enough action in order to create the reaction I want. I'll say that again. If I truly know I'm putting my full self into what I'm trying to achieve, as well as being smart with my efforts, then I'm taking enough action in order to create the reaction I want. That is what I truly believe. And this may take time, but as long as I'm clear on this, then the better I get, the faster the result that I wish will approaches me. So this may take time, but as long as I'm clear on this, the better I get, the faster the result approaches. And again, this comes down to learning. We're new to things, especially when we're starting up as entrepreneurs and we're moving forward, we're always new to things, always learning, especially in the digital age. The area that I'm in, digital marketing and sales, is that it's always ever moving, ever changing, and that's what's fascinating about it, is you get to learn. And I'm just such an advocate and love learning so much, and that's why I just love pushing myself in my areas. So it comes down again to learning. But I think that's another important thing I mentioned was, yes, put your full self into it, which you should always do, but being smart. I added that one actually. At first it didn't have that in what I was going to say, but I think that's so key, because you can work hard, and yes, that's key that you work hard. You can work hard, but if you don't work smart, you ain't going to win. And it's another crucial thing not many successful people may mention. They'll be like, work hard, do this, and you achieve dreams. Yes, but you have to work smart. There's no point in working hard on one thing. And again, it comes back to that quote I said, don't mistake busyness for productivity. This is when you get to the sort of high level of thinking, and it's something I'm trying to understand and start trying to grasp, and it's something that I want to bring to my channel and see what you think, and we can discuss in the comments. So that's what my final verdict is on that, whether you're being impatient or not taking enough action. And I actually made 3 steps of understanding this. So what my 3 checklist is your business moving forward? Is money increasing? And is your happiness increasing? If you check those 3 things off, I believe you are moving forward and you're taking enough action in order to move forward, and you're not being impatient. So my takeaway for you is go away and ensure you have this. It always starts with true clarity. Go away and ensure you have true clarity of your vision, of your goals and dreams, have true clarity, understanding what they are, and then analyze your progress towards those over the past 3 months. So analyze your progress towards the true clarity of your goals and dreams in the past 3 months, and this will allow you to truly understand whether you are being impatient or not taking enough action. Okay, it's very crucial. And again, you can use my 3 steps. Is your business moving forward? Is your money increasing? And is your happiness increasing? Okay, it comes down to these things. So that's a really crucial one, and a very fascinating, I really want to mention. So I think that's embedded in a lot of our minds as entrepreneurs is, am I being impatient? Am I taking enough action? And I believe that will give you some clarity, and I hope you gain value from that. As always, I hope you gain value from all of my videos, but I think this is really going to really hit a spot for entrepreneurs who are really early in their progress. So as always, it was a pleasure, guys. Comment below any feedback, comments, anything like that. I love discussing and understanding this further, because then we can learn further. That's where we'll learn further, is when we discuss it further. As always, please follow me on all social media. YouTube is at Scott Mears, Twitter is at Scott Mears _, Facebook is at Scott Mears Entrepreneur. As always, the best way to predict the future is to create it. One of my favorite quotes. This is why I always wear a black top, because I'm always promoting this quote. It's a quote I love, absolutely love. This was Day to Day, Scott. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a pleasure as always, and I'll see you at the next one, guys. Bye bye.